going to get straight into it. I just want to say thank you to Vested, our sponsors of our guest speaker calls. And then, Nick, if you can take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So, good morning, everybody. Uh, First of all, very big thank you for inviting us to speak. We're really pleased to kind of be here today. Just a quick introduction personally to who's here from Rubric Law. So, there's myself, Nick. I look after marketing and growth at Rubric, and my MD and colleague James, who's a corporate solicitor, and our ideas dynamo is also on the call for when we get into Q&A. We've got a fairly compact but comprehensive presentation to run through today. We're going to give you a little bit of an introduction into Rubric Law, who we are, what we do, trying to set the scene for why we created our platform, Miqo. I'm going to give you a brief introduction to it and a whistle-stop tour, and then we'll have some Q&A at the end, should you have any questions. So, who are we? So, Rubric Law, we're a corporate law firm. We were founded in Bristol in 2012, and we've grown from, as I say, one-man startup into a trusted legal partner, and we've worked across nearly £1 billion worth of M&A deals in that time. We do have quite a strong focus on M&A, but as any of you will know who have been part of the process, underpinning M&A is the sort of four disciplines we have there. So corporate, commercial, employment, and commercial property. And aside our M&A work, we've actually developed those in isolation as well. So they all have their own revenue streams aside from M&A. One thing we've also done, which has been key to our success, is to build a very strong network of professional advisors around us at all stages that we've kind of worked in M&A or the four disciplines. So we then become a one-stop shop. So if you come to us and thinking you need legal advice, you need to get a valuation from an accountant, that's where we can introduce you to a trusted advisor. And it helps bring that level of trust and a good ecosystem of advice to clients. Um, oh, sorry, my screen's not moving. There we go. Um, so because of the experience that we have within the team, we are really competent at supporting businesses at whatever stage you might be at. So whether you are, as in, the namesake, a startup looking to create the foundations, whether you're looking to build your business and looking for investment rounds or partnership agreements, whether you are established and looking to consolidate your position with governance reviews or some complicated lease renewals, or it's come time for you to think about exiting the business and succession planning. We have expertise that can cover all of these stages. But the fundamental thing to point out is that the strong legal foundations that you have at all of these stages will dictate success. Uh, I would just like to draw your attention here to the fact that we have a startups package, and it's a bespoke package. It's not cookie cutter, and we offer that to startups to help them help them to establish their legal foundations, which will help them to grow successfully. Typically, we charge £2,500 for that. We're knocking off 500 quid to all startup to stand up members should you require any support. And I've dropped a little QR code that will take you through to the website so that you can have a look at the package in full detail there. Um, Thinking about M&A and moving back to it, we have some views. And I think any of you that may have been involved in it or exposed to it will know that M&A is quite often a very fragmented process. There's a huge reliance on spreadsheets, numerous email chains, multiple advisors, and you might often see version 22 final part two of a document. And this causes huge problems when it comes to getting a deal over the line. There's delays and inefficiencies, really, really poor deal visibility. Due diligence becomes an extremely large headache. And the more this goes on and the more uncertainty there is, you're going to have increased costs and momentum's going to stall. And that's why we feel that there needs to be a step change in the process of M&A. And it's why we created our platform, which is called Miqo. So what is Miqo? So Miqo is an end-to-end platform for buying and selling online businesses at the moment. It's not just your typical marketplace. It is a marketplace with listings that have a fully integrated legal suite. We are empowering sellers to get exit ready themselves. We've built a series of proprietary tools and technology to help get to that exit ready stage. We create clarity and visibility between buyers and sellers with a centralized deal section. We've created our own data room where you are able to front load your due diligence uh, exercises by uploading your accounting information and really start that process a lot earlier than would typically happen in an M&A deal. You're able to centrally look at your listings and deals in one platform rather than it be disconnected between emails, spreadsheets, etc. You're able to invite your own advisors onto the platform to create your own deal management team. And what we're very proud of is the fact that there is no upfront costs associated with signing up for Miqo, listing your business, or starting to view businesses for sale. We've been very deliberate about that. So what I would like to do is I'd like to give you a little tour of the platform, if you'd allow me. Um, I'm just gonna click on the link and hopefully it will take me through to the marketplace. Perhaps, Gary, you would nod just to confirm that's all coming through okay?
Yep, all good.
Excellent. So this is Miqo. This is our demo side of Miqo, not the actual front end platform. But I just want to show you what it is, what it does, and how it can help people looking to buy or sell businesses. So as you'll see, traditional listing section where you can view all the businesses that are currently for sale. Um, you have a control over your deals, as I've mentioned already, so that every deal that you are engaged with, you are able to manage in a central location. Within that, you're able to view your own dashboard for that deal. So you can see that parties have signed an NDA, the data room's open to start process with, the buyer has uploaded their proof of funds, and that you are able to start negotiating your heads of terms, and so on and so on. As you go through the process, you have a full timeline of where you are in your deal as you look to sell your business. Just from a listing point of view, something I mentioned was empowering sellers to feel in control of um, becoming exit ready, and to kind of support that, we've created some really neat integrated tools. So I'm just going to go into one of these here. Sorry, wrong one. This one here. So obviously you can create your own listing. This can be bespoke. You can tailor it to how you want to present your business. But one thing that we have done is created our own valuation tool within the platform. This isn't just your typical EBITDA multiplier. This takes into account several different scenarios that might affect the valuation of a business. We ask questions surrounding owner dependency, whether there's too much reliance on the owner, and incorporate that as a risk factor affecting the valuation. And there's also customer profiling. Is there too much reliance on one customer? Is that going to cause your valuation to be lower? And what this does is it allows you to have a much more realistic view rather than something inflated that you might get from a business broker who might be looking to sign you on for a retainer. But as part of creating your own listing, you also have the functionality to start advertising it yourself. So I'm just going to go back to a different listing. So we have created our own information memorandum builder, and you're able to start putting in to this platform how you want the business to be perceived, and start your own sale process yourself. It's really neat. It's all linked to Companies House, and we actually take the branding from a website. So, for example, I'm just going to pop in Rubric Law here and say that I want 150 million quid for it. From that link and from Company's House, it's pulling all the information, and you can tailor everything in here so that you feel in control of selling your own business. I'm just conscious of time, so I'm not going to sort of go too much further, but effectively, I'm just going to move back to my presentation quickly. Miqo really is a step change in M&A. We're looking to simplify it. It's designed to modernize the M&A experience. We have the marketplace, but we have the deal functionality built into it, which is really going to help buyers and sellers in a really unclear situation that we have at the moment. It's not just a tool, it's more than a marketplace. We have the integrated legal and deal tools. There's centralized communication with buyer chat. You have a secure collaborative due diligence platform and greater visibility. It's also built around progression. So we're helping sellers become exit ready. It structures acquisitions for buyers so that they understand where they are in the process. There's reduced friction between all parties, no more email chains, version 22 of a document. It's all incorporated as part of the platform, and it keeps momentum going. And what's more, it's designed for SMEs deals. So we're offering guidance and milestones to completion so that deals actually get done. We're reducing the fragmented communication that exists, and we're keeping deals organized in one place so that we set precedents for deal consistency moving forward. This obviously might feel quite heavily weighted towards the sell side. So we're also setting up and launching this year a buying group. So what we want to create is a community of informed buyers where they have access to a self-learning M&A course. We'll be providing a suite of assets and checklists to make sure they have the tools to really assess and approach the right businesses for them. We'll be incorporating some of our professional advice contacts that we've built to offer guidance and sessions from their experience to help. And we're creating a WhatsApp community so that everybody in the group feels empowered to succeed and support one another. What we've kind of come up with is we'd like to offer 5 free memberships to this platform, which we're calling Miqo Collective, for startup stand-up members. And we will be launching the paid version later in the year. So that is, in general, a summary of us and Miqo. We're really grateful for you listening to us and inviting us today. I've just put some links there, so if you'd like to actually have a deeper look at Miqo and explore it in a demo with me, feel free to scan the QR code. If you'd like to be part of our acquisition group, there's one for that as well. And James is offering a 30-minute free legal consultation should you require one, if you'd like to scan the QR code there. And just one final thing, because obviously we want to support all types of business as much as we can. We're actually created a very small legal package, which is 5 hours of legal advice for 500 quid, should you be in a position where you might need that. So thank you very much for listening to me. Hopefully it all made sense, and James and I would be more than happy to answer any questions you might have.
Uh, Thank you very much, Nick. Do you want to take your presentation down and then we can
Yeah, sure.
ask people if they want any?
Just do
And
that.
if anyone's got any questions for Nick, if they can put their hands up visually, or did Robin just put his hand up? Yeah, he did.
Hey, is my microphone working?
Yeah, it's all good, Robin.
Oh, that's great. Just curious about your approaches to due diligence and what this there's a lot of commercial due diligence I can see on the left hand side. What about technical or other stages in in dealing with a transaction?
Probably defer to you there, James, if that's okay.
Yeah, hi Robin. Nice to meet you.
Hi, James.
Um, have you? I mean, obviously, I'm
Uh,
not aware of what people's experience in the
oh,
M&A
sorry.
process is, but
So my background is technology consulting. I work on tech architecture, do a lot of due diligence and sort of business evaluation on
yeah,
not necessarily prepping for sale, but definitely prepping for, product build or, transformation, that kind of thing.
Yeah, got
Um,
you.
and
So
I'm
we
wondering where I would support on this kind of activity inside your platform.
yeah. I mean, obviously the platform's aimed at the founders or owners that are looking to exit. I mean, and obviously this is a startup platform, but I mean, just the context of that, everyone that starts up a business is going to exit at some point for some reason. A lot of the founders will find, unfortunately, quite quickly that they may not get the funding or that they need or the support they need, and may be looking for an off ramp sooner rather than later. So, this platform would be useful for particularly for those type of founders that haven't found their way to PE or significant funding elsewhere. But so the platform is based around doing this in the most cost efficient and effective way as possible for these smaller sort of businesses. And with that in mind, we've designed all of the functionality that you would need in any deal. It's not just the marketplace, but we have built our own data room in there. I've found that I've been doing corporate law for many years now, and I found it's quite a stressful and drawn out experience for most owners and the buyers, in fact. So we have tried to redesign that process. So we've reimagined M&A on the platform. So, for example, the data room that we've built is linked directly to the warranties that you will find later on into the share purchase agreement. So at the point of going through the due diligence exercise, and we have standardized that part of it so that, for the type of businesses that Miqo is aimed at, these are the questions that you should be asked by a buyer. And at the same time as answering all of those and essentially getting deal ready, that's where you can find the gaps in your information, and somewhere where someone like you might be able to step in and say, well, we need to sort of do something about this. We also asked the seller, the person using the platform, to go through the warranties that will be asked later on as well in the share purchase agreement, and make the disclosure. So it's all rather than it being a very linear process, we've tried to reimagine that so that all of the information a buyer would want is available at the point of them making an offer, essentially.
Okay, maybe it's worth rather than using up the rest of the session, maybe it's worth sort of having a conversation offline and seeing whether there's some further work that we could do.
Yeah, I'd welcome that. It's not your typical M&A process, but I've been a firm believer for many years now that the M&A process is out of date, out of touch, and it works well for big deals and the big law firms, but for the lower and mid SME market, it is fraught with problems, which create cost and time issues. And I just think that there's a better way of doing it. And my view, Robin, is that one day M&A deals will be done on platforms. So you might have two lawyers that say, look, there's this platform that we can use to do this deal that's set up with all the proper documents for it. And we just, so it'll be, and that's what Miqo is. It's AI supported, but the legal side of it is largely automated based on what we believe is the standardized position for those type of sectors.
Yeah, like seed legals for startup growth, similar platform-based M&A.
Yes, exactly that. Yeah, and I think 90% of a legal document in a particular sector can be standardized. There's going to be some bespoke areas of that, and you can't ignore it because that's where the deal is and that's where the risk is. But if you think about due diligence, every law firm has its own questionnaire that it sends to, a buyer comes along and says, I want to instruct you, right? Yeah, we'll get our due diligence questionnaire over to the seller. Now, every single law firm will have their own one. So you could be talking about, thousands of different variations of that. I just feel that there's some standardization that could take place so that for a particular sector, let's say e-commerce, the questions were accepted as this is what you're going to be asked.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay, I won't take up more of your time, but definitely think there's worth continuing some conversation.
Thank you.
Uh, that's cool. I think Caroline had I don't know if she can speak at the moment, but I could read it out for you.
Hi there.
Oh, you can, yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know if I can see me or do or not see me or hear me
Yeah,
or any of
We
that.
can see you
we can
fine.
see you, Caroline.
Excellent. Okay, well, apologies. I am on a boat. I do in London live in Little Venice, so just be aware that it is a bit mad. Um, I'm thinking about the sort of businesses that you're working with in terms of the human element of the M&A and as running a professional development company, and particularly when people are going through the pain. I mean, I really like your clarity around the structure and the kind of all the steps and the process in terms of this platform, but actually who's working with the people who are actually going through this pain, and do you perhaps work with partners that we should have a conversation about?
Yeah, should I tackle that one as well, Nick?
Mhm.
Yeah, well, very nice to meet you, Caroline. Thanks ever so much
Thanks.
for asking the question. You look lovely wherever you are. Looks very nice. Um, the yeah, so that 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 the people bit is underserved in M&A.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Now, we've we have an idea which we're developing at the moment, along with lots of other ideas. But the Miqo Collective point that Nick raised at the end there, a large part of that was what it will be about support. So we'll be bringing people in, partners to do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of advice out there about buying a business. How do I buy a business? How do I sell a business?
Hmm.
Um, there's not much advice about the personal element of going through that process, but also afterwards. I bought a business. What do I do now? It sort of falls off a cliff at that point.
Yeah.
So we're looking to address that. I do
Okay.
think it's underserved. I don't think there's enough emphasis on it. I
Yeah.
do think the
Yeah.
process itself it can be soul destroying for lots of
Yeah.
people, and
Yeah.
I've seen sellers crumble throughout that process. Just simply
Yeah.
the pressure gets so great. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, I
Yeah.
agree.
Well, let's take that offline, and I'll be in touch, and we can have a conversation. I have no, I'm a kind of person of goodness, and whilst yes, of course, there is planet and profit, all of which are important. Actually, the people element is something that if we can do better, actually, we end up delivering on the other two much more easily. So,
Absolutely
thanks
agree.
very
Yeah,
much.
thank you.
I'd just like to say thank you to Nick and James for presenting this today. So thanks for everyone for coming and have a great weekend.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Gary.
guys.
Have a good
Thank
Cheers,
you.
one.
everyone. Thanks a lot.